Hi Year 2, new lesson, and I've done myself a new clock and I've tried to make it a bit more jazzy. So I just did it because I thought maybe my last one was getting a bit confusing. So hopefully this is a bit clearer. So last lesson we spoke about minutes past, and we said how we only talk about minutes past when the minute hand is on this half of the clock face. Okay, it's always 0 when it's at o'clock, because let's say if it's 4 o'clock, it's the start of a new hour. And then as this minute hand starts moving round, each of the numbers it reaches represents another 5 minutes that have passed. So I would have 5 past 4, 10 past 4, quarter past 4. And remember, we did say that slowly this hour hand will move around. So at 4 o'clock, it's exactly facing that 4 o'clock, exactly pointing to the 4. 5 past, it would have moved ever so slightly just past it. Okay, that's 5 past 4. 10 past 4, it's moved that little bit more. Then we've got quarter past 4. Then it's 20 past 4. And you can see here it's going to be quite interesting. The minute hand's going to cross over, isn't it? Then I've got 25 minutes past 4. And then half past 4. The hour hand at that point is in the middle of 4 and 5. Okay, so that was all of the minutes past. And if you're still not feeling that confident with minutes past, remember, you can look back at the work from yesterday. You're going to have a go at minutes 2 today. Then tomorrow you're going to have some work on minutes past and minutes 2. And I found a really nice game for you to go online, and it's really nice. Make sure you go on it, because there's a really fun bear you'll see, and he gives you the time. So like here, and then he'll give you 4 options and you choose what you think the time is. So if I looked at it here, I know that my minute hand is at the 2, and I know that represents 10 minutes past. So my first part of my sentence is 10 minutes past, and then I look at the hour hand and I look at what time it has passed, what hour it's past the 5. So I would say 10 minutes past 5. Okay, so hopefully you've had some practice at that. Hopefully you feel confident. We're going to move on to minutes 2 today. And the reason why it turns to minutes 2, because as you can see, as the minute comes past that 6, so it comes past half past, it's heading back towards the 12. Okay, so at this half, it's going away from it. It's going past it. Okay, once it's halfway, once it's moved from half past, from halfway around the circle, you can see it's moving back towards the top of the clock, back towards the 12 to start the new hour. Okay, and that is why we call it minutes 2, the next hour. I'll explain that in a little bit. So you probably can remember now. If I start writing this, I'm sure you'll be able to finish it off for me. I've got 1 hour. How many minutes are equal to 1 hour? Well done. 60 minutes are equal to an hour. Okay, so, but now I don't carry on. So I can prove, actually I'll prove to you that there's 60 minutes in an hour, because I could go 5, 10, 15. You can probably count along with me. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I've reached 60, which is why we're back to 0. Okay, so there's 60 minutes in an hour, but we don't say 35 minutes past. We don't say 40 minutes past or 45 minutes past. We already know this one is 1:45, so I can fill that in on my clock. Make sure you fill it in if you haven't. Or we can say 15 minutes too. So now what this then becomes, this 7, is we have to then work back to what is going to get us to that 0. So we're counting back. So instead of saying 35 minutes past, we actually say it's 25 minutes to. Because from here, if I wanted to count back to reach my o'clock. Okay, I'm going to count in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So when it's on the 7, there's 25 minutes left to the next o'clock. At the 8, let's see how many minutes it is from the 8 to get to the 12. So how many minutes left in the hour is there? 5, 10, 15, 20. So this one means 20 minutes to, and I'm going to write this on my clock. 20 minutes to. We already know that one's 15. Let's see how many minutes it would be to the next o'clock here. 5, 10. Oh, that's quite handy actually, because this is a 10 as well. So that's quite a good way of remembering, isn't it? This one should be quite nice because that means it's 10 minutes to, and we can remember that because it's 10. If only that was the same with all the numbers, then it'd be a lot easier. 10 minutes to, and then my 11, when it points at the 11, that represents that there's 5 minutes left of the hour. There's 5 more minutes to get to the 12, to get to the new hour, and I would say 5 minutes to. Okay, so let's have a little practice. So if it's 25 minutes to, it's on the 7. Let me just move that past a little bit. That's it. 25 minutes to, 10 to, it'd be on the 10. Quarter to, it would be on the 9. 20 minutes to, it would be on the 8. 5 minutes to, it would be on the 11. Are we all happy with that? So maybe have a little play with that if you're not quite sure. So if I said 25 minutes to, you know the minute hand needs to be at the 7. 20 minutes to, it needs to be at the 8. Okay, 5 minutes to, it needs to be on the 11. Okay, so now let's go for adding in the hour hand here. So let's say the time is 20 minutes to 4. Okay, so we finished school. Maybe one of you's had to come back because you forgot your water bottle. And I say, oh, come on, it's 20 minutes to 4. You should be at home by now. So my minute hand goes on the 20 minutes to. It should be facing that 8 because I know that 8 represents that there's 20 minutes left of that hour. It's 20 minutes to the next hour. And if I said it was 20 to 4, my hour hand, do you think it's going to be past 4 or do you think it's going to be just coming up to 4? If it's 20 minutes to 4, well done. It shouldn't be past my 4. It should be coming up to the 4. And that is 20 minutes to 4. Now let me show you 10 minutes to 2. Homophone there. 10 minutes to 2 o'clock. Okay, 10 minutes. I like 10 minutes to because I know straight away it's on the 10. 10 minutes left of the hour. It's 10 minutes to 2 o'clock. 10 minutes to 2. My hour needs to be just coming up to 2 o'clock. Not past it, just coming up to it. So that's 10 minutes to 2. Now let's go for 25 minutes to 6. So I look at the 25 minutes to first. That's 5 minutes to 10. 25 minutes to. I can count and check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, there's 25 minutes left to my hour. 25 to 6. My hour hand just needs to be coming up to the 6. So that's 25 minutes to 6. That would look like. Now let's do 5 minutes to 8. Okay, 5 minutes to 8. So 5 minutes to, I know my minute hand needs to be on the 11. 5 minutes to 8, my hour hand needs to be coming up right to the 8. And you'll notice, some of you, if you have analog clocks at home and if you ever look at the time and it's 5 minutes to, that hour hand is so close to the next hour that it's coming up to because there's only 5 minutes left. And that hour hand needs to get ready. So when it turns to 8 o'clock, that hour hand needs to be pointing directly at the 8. So that's why when it's 5 minutes to, it's so close pointing at that 8 already because there's not many minutes left of that hour. Okay. Where if it was 25 to 8, it would be a lot more in the middle of the 7 and 8 because it's not long been past. But don't worry too much about where that hour hand should be. As long as we're recognising the minutes and we know what number the hour hand should be in between, then that's fine. So if I said, let's finish off at 10 minutes to 12. 10 minutes to, my minute hand goes on the 10. 10 minutes to 12. So my hour hand is coming up to 12. So it's not past 12, it's coming up to 12. And that's 10 minutes to 12. So again, you can have a go, get your grown-ups to say just sometimes 2. Okay, and you can have a go at that. You can watch this video back again as many times as possible. And once you feel confident, have a go at the activities that I've set for you. Tomorrow, we're going to go over minutes past and minutes to again, all together at the same time. Okay, so I could say to you, okay, 20 minutes past 9. I know straight away my minute hand is on this side because it's past. It's 20 minutes past. So I look where my 20 is. My 20 minutes is here. 20 minutes past 9. My hour hand needs to be past 9. So, and I think it's important that can you hear? I know I'm explaining it to you, but it helps me know exactly where my minute and hour hand should be because I'm talking about it out loud. So when you're doing the time, you should be talking out loud to yourself as well. So say if you wanted to do 25 minutes to 3, you need to say, oh, okay, so it's 2, so I know my minute hand is on this side. 25 minutes to, it should be at the 7, and I can double check. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, brilliant. 25 minutes to, I forgot what the hour hand, I'm awful at this, aren't I? Let's say it was 25 minutes to 12. I can't remember. And then I'll put my hour hand just to 12. Okay, and talk it out loud as you're doing the time with your minute and your hour hand because it will really help. Keep this clock with you as you're doing your activities and make sure you can practice as much as possible. Whenever your grown-ups or anyone in your house has a spare 5 minutes, you can ask them to test you. They could either put a time on there. Let's go for this one. And you have to work it out. So again, you could think, right, well, my minute hand is on the 2. How many minutes to? It's 20 minutes to. What's my hour coming up to? 1. 20 minutes to 1. Or you could ask them to give you a time and you put the hands on the clock. Okay, it's really quite tricky what you're trying to do. And I really appreciate your resilience. We need lots of resilience with this. Okay, but hopefully we're feeling a bit more confident with time, and like I say, tomorrow you've got a nice game to carry on as well. Okay, so I'm so proud of you, those of you that have kept listening to this video and you've made your own clock and you're having a go at it. I can't ask for any more from you because that's brilliant effort. Okay, so just try your best with those activities. Okay, lots of love, year 2. Speak to you soon.